Welcome into Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. On today's show, we'll go over the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, those surrounding DK Metcalf, as well as former Seahawks head coach Mike Holmgren and Quandre Diggs. Before we get to that, though, want to make sure not only that you're subscribed to Seahawks Today, but you have the notifications on as well. The first 10 people to comment gang on today's show, you're going to get a shout-out on the next edition of Seahawks Today. You're what we call the Noti gang around here. We're getting so close to the start of the season. We want to make sure that you never miss a moment, that you're the first to know exactly what's going down with this Seahawks team. So go ahead and subscribe now and turn on those notifications. Let's start with Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf. He's been named by NFL.com as the most likely Seahawks non-quarterback to win the NFL's MVP award. Here's the exact breakdown of what NFL.com had to say. Quarterback questions loom in Seattle, but you know what could wipe out most of that consternation? An otherworldly season by the ultra-talented Metcalf. DK had 3,485 receiving yards and 32 receiving touchdowns in his career, including playoffs. One of 5 players in the Super Bowl era with 3,000-plus receiving yards and 30-plus receiving TDs over his first 3 seasons. With speed to burn and a big body, Metcalf is a matchup nightmare for smaller defenders with the potential to take any pass to the house. In the 3 games Geno Smith started last season, Metcalf's numbers didn't fall off a cliff despite the more restricted passing attack. 197 yards, 3 touchdowns, highlighting his ability to be productive no matter who is under center. Now, that's a nice compliment. That's nice praise for DK Metcalf. And all of that, I think, is true. DK Metcalf, I believe, is the most valuable player on this Seahawks roster. But with all that being said, when it comes to MVP, I don't know how many people know this, but in the history of the NFL's MVP award that's given out by the Associated Press, a wide receiver has never won the NFL MVP, ever. And so it would have to be in a historic season of DK Metcalf that we just haven't seen before. And another quarterback, your Aaron Rodgers, your Patrick Mahomes of the world, would have to have, none of them would have to have just amazing seasons. There would have to be a lot, not to mention the Seahawks would have to win a lot more games than people expect. There's just a whole lot of things that get in the way. So I like what they're saying about DK. It's cool to see that people recognize his talent, and hopefully he gets this extension and all that gets taken care of. But the idea of him winning MVP because of circumstances out of his control just seems a bit of a stretch. Now, I want to know from you guys, bringing it back down to reality, is DK Metcalf the most valuable Seahawk? I'm not asking you if he's going to win the NFL MVP, but is he the most valuable Seahawk? If so, type 14 in the comments. If he's not, if someone else is, then tell me who that is. It is our pinned comment today. You're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it. While that ad's playing, let me know one way or the other if DK Metcalf is the most valuable Seahawk. Let's talk about Mike Holmgren. That is a name that we have not brought up in a long time. The former Seahawks and Green Bay Packers head coach has been named a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, this category that Holmgren is being considered for is the seniors and coach contributor categories. And there's tough competition for this spot. It includes Robert Kraft, Art Modell, Dan Reeves, Art Rudy Jr., and Mike Shanahan, just to name a few that are all under consideration. Now, Holmgren's resume is terrific. Won a Super Bowl with the Packers, took the Seahawks to the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 40, had a good run, and quite frankly, I think Holmgren should be in the Hall of Fame already, personally. I think that he had a great run, and, my standard when I look at head coaches in the NFL, if you're a head coach that has won a Super Bowl and you were in the league for a certain amount of time, 10 years plus, you should be a Hall of Famer. Holmgren checks off those boxes for me. He should already be in. But with that said, the category he's in, and a lot of good names there, I don't know how long he'll have to wait necessarily. He should be in, but he might have to wait because there's a good group of guys also waiting. I mean, Robert Kraft, not in the Hall of Fame. How does that happen by now? Well, all the rings that he has and what he's done for New England, to me, that just doesn't add up. So Holmgren should be in there, but be patient, folks. I think it will happen eventually. Just don't know how soon that will be. So I want to ask you guys, should Mike Holmgren be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Let me know. Type Y for yes, type in for no, one way or the other, if you think Mike Holmgren should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, here at Seahawks Today, as we count you down closer to the season beginning, trying to make sure that we get plenty of subs before the season starts. And so with that being said, we are getting also close to 28,000 subscribers, but we need your help now. If you haven't subscribed to Seahawks Today already, go ahead and do so. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. That's youtube.com/Seahawks TV, and turn the notifications on as well. Let's talk about Quandre Diggs now. ESPN this past week released their list of top 10 safeties in the National Football League. There was one Seahawk on that list, but not Quandre Diggs. Here's what the top 10 list looks like, as you can see on your screen right now. Jamal Adams made it as the number 10 safety in the league, with Justin Simmons topping the list, Minka Fitzpatrick, number 2, Kevin Byrd, Derwin James, Budda Baker, your top 5, Jesse Bates, Harrison Smith, Marcus Williams, Anton Winfield, and Jamal Adams round out the top 10. And when I look at this list, not only do we see Diggs left off, but there was another list just a little while ago from USA Today that had Diggs ranked 9th in the NFL. It was done by Touchdown Wire. And so we can see that Diggs is getting love from some of the major outlets, but not ESPN in this case. I'll get you Diggs' response to this list in just a second. Before we do, got a great combination that we are offering Seahawks fans right now, a shirt and hat combination for 40% off while supplies last. The only place that you can get it is chatsports.com/12combo to get yours today to represent the Emerald City and be rocking out with your hawk out. Get yours now while supplies last. Chatsports.com/12combo. It's chatsports.com/12combo for 40% off the shirt and hat deal. So here's what Quandre Diggs had to say on Twitter over the weekend. LOL, in my eyes, I'm the best ever. I don't care what y'all think. So I like it from Quandre Diggs. The confidence there you can see. And look, he did get dissed. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But at the end of the day, it's another list out there. The numbers speak for themselves on Quandre Diggs. You can see last year, 5 interceptions backing up his performance from 2020, where the tackles went way up for Quandre Diggs as well. And he's been solid. You go back to 2019 and 2018, 3 interceptions in each of those seasons. And for Quandre Diggs, I imagine he's going to keep on digging. 2-time Pro Bowler, back-to-back appearances the past 2 years. He is now on a new 3-year, $39 million contract that he signed this offseason. And also we're going to see him back off of injury as you go back to the final week of the regular season last year when he had the broken fibula and the dislocated ankle. Off-season surgery to repair both those things. I imagine that Quandre Diggs is going to come in hungry here in 2022. I'm excited to see what he could put together. He seems very ecstatic about the new defensive scheme under defensive coordinator Clint Hurt, what he's bringing to the table. And I got to tell you, it's going to be fun to watch to see what he does, takes that next step. I think that after this year, there won't be any questions about whether Quandre Diggs is a top 10 safety or not. He's going to show that he's one of the best in the league. And Seahawks fans, you already know he is. I think everyone else is going to see as well what he brings to the table. So before we go, our final question of today's show, true or false, Quandre Diggs is a top 10 safety in the NFL. Let me know one way or the other. Type T for true, type F for false. Let me know how you feel about Quandre Diggs if he is among the elites in the National Football League.